Good morning, Kevin. Happy
Hey,
Tuesday.
Earl, great to see you as always.
Absolutely, my friend. After a long weekend, did you get some
Yes,
time to
sir.
enjoy some? Did you get some time to enjoy some sun? You know where you were?
Yep. Hung out with the family on a little James River beach and
Okay.
just ate a lot of food and had a lot of fun. How about
Hey,
you?
that's what it's about, man. I did a little something. I did something yesterday, for dinner plans, with the family. But other than that, I just kind of relaxed. Just kind of took it light.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, hey, once Labor Day hits, if you watch any regular TV, I've noticed the political commercials are going crazy, which
Man,
means there must be an election coming up.
absolutely. Yeah, that's the only thing that we're hearing nowadays, pretty much. It's all election news. And that's one of the things, like I said, we were talking just briefly about. I just made a post on my blog today talking about how presidential elections, affect, home buyers and home sellers, or what people's mindsets are, going into a presidential election.
So, what does a presidential election typically mean for real estate?
Well, presidential election, typically for real estate, like I said, it kind of puts people on edge. They kind of don't know what to do. They don't know whether it's a good time to buy, it's a good time to sell. But generally speaking, and this data is brought to us by the good folks over at Keeping Current Matters. But nine out of the last 11 presidential elections, home sales actually increase the following year, which is definitely a good thing because that shows that the market is healthy. It shows that after presidential elections, things go back to normal. People live, they still have things to do. So, if they need to move, they move. If they need to sell, they sell by, such forth. So it's always a great positive move, in regards to home sales. The next question people always has is, well, just because homes are selling doesn't mean price values will hold. Well, that is another great point because the last and I'll just double check this information here. The last 7 out of 8 presidential elections, home prices have continued to increase the year after the presidential election or a new regime comes in, per se. That's what happens. Home prices continue to go up. I know some people may say, hey, home prices aren't necessarily as affordable as they like, or in situations they're not able to take advantage of the homes that are available. But this is the perfect time for you to stay in the market, pay attention to what's going on. More inventory is on the market, which allows you to have more opportunity to find just the perfect home for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what I've seen in statistics for home prices, home sales, even the stock market, it really doesn't even matter which party wins. You
Right.
know, I think there's actually a slight better bounce if a Democrat wins, which, for folks that study, Republicans are supposed to be the fiscally more conservative and, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of the opposite of what you might think. But who knows, man? These days, not getting political, I don't think it matters who wins anymore. We're going to
Yeah.
get the same big government mess regardless.
Tell me about it.
But mortgage rates, there are some trends of mortgage rates, and this is leading up to the election. 8 out of the 11 last presidential elections, mortgage rates have decreased leading up to the election. Could that be the Fed or somebody monkeying with rates to try to make the incumbent look better? Probably, although they try to, let's say probably not, because they say that they are not politically influenced.
Right.
But they're all appointed, but they are political appointments, so they
Right.
can't completely neutral.
Mhm.
The person who put you in there, you're going to have a bit of loyalty to,
Yeah.
but it can also just be part of the cycle. So right now, we are seeing declining mortgage interest rates coming into the election. Doesn't have anything to do with the election. It's just where the economy is. We went super high because of inflation. Inflation's getting a bit under control. So, doesn't mean prices are going down. They're just not going up as fast.
Right.
So, we're going to see some recovery in mortgage rates.
Yep. Absolutely. And generally, presidential elections, and just to kind of wrap up here, generally presidential elections have some very minimal effect on the housing market, but it's minimal and it's very, for lack of better words, it's very temporal because it's not something that occurs throughout the rest of the year or going into the new year. It's usually just that stigmatism around the election period, Kevin, that we see that general type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And this is a little bit off topic, but before we go, I was just having this discussion with my wife over the weekend. Home affordability. You mentioned affordability. That's what triggered it. Home
Right.
affordability is tough. We all feel that affordability in general is tough, especially for young people trying to get started. So I was thinking back when I was young, and while, yeah, sure, some of the things may have been a lot more affordable, we didn't spend on so many things. Like, think about what we spend per month on internet,
Mhm.
cell phone, coffee,
Right.
bottled water. We
Right.
didn't buy any of that stuff back in the day. So that definitely has an impact on disposable income.
150%. You couldn't be more right. And that has a lot to do, like you said, that could spark a whole nother conversation, but it has a lot to do with us becoming more consumer centric,
Yeah.
buying a lot more than we're producing. So, like I said, that's a whole different topic, but we could go for days on that one. But
That'd
yeah,
be a
you're
good
absolutely
topic
right.
for another chat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, man.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, no matter who you vote for, get out to vote. And even more importantly, get out and start looking at houses.
Absolutely. Because there's no better time to own than what, Kevin? Yesterday.
Yep. And the second best time is today.
Absolutely.
So,
Hey,
Earl,
Kevin,
if somebody wants to check out homes, how do they find you?
they can reach me at 757-871-4167 or at my website, earl.belltowerteam.com. And how do they get you, Kevin?
You can find me at loanswithkevin.com or 757-645-8996 is my cell. Either one works.
Sounds good, my friend. As always, have a great week.